And they could not imagine somebody getting on a plane, flying all the way to Bonham, Texas, a half a horse town by now, to lay a wreath on a grave. And so that's what started all the big buzz. And so now they're down there talking about raising private money to build a statue, of Charter Christian. They've already taken the example of Oklahoma City naming a street. I went to the ribbon cutting and all that, but they had this notion that they were going to start a club that played jazz in Charlie Christian's old birthplace, and they were going to call it Rose Room.
Which
And
is?
yeah, it's one of his signature tunes. It was what made him it was a make or break for him with Benny Goodman. Well, they were planning, but see, the left hand wasn't talking to the right hand. And as it turned out, they were making the plans, but nobody told the demolition crew of the city. So when the crew went out and started to demolish the house, where it traveled fast, and the guy that was the town leader who was going to do all of this went running down there, and the house was laying flat on the ground. And they were so upset, because it had been there forever, abandoned. But they had these big plans. So when I went down to speak, they asked me to come down to speak because now they have a Charter Christian celebration. They presented me with a framed picture of the words to Rose Room, a picture of the birthplace, before it was demolished, of course. And then at the bottom, they have a picture of Charlie Christian looking very sharp when he was playing with Benny Goodman. And in one corner, they have a black rose. And so it's really nice. And in the frame of this tribute to him, basically, is made from the wood from his birthplace.
Well, Miss Arnold, you now when you accepted the award for Charlie Christian, you said that this is what comes from hanging with Charlie Christian.
Yes, I did. Well, that was when I was inducted into the Oklahoma Jazz Hall of Fame, which I never thought I would be inducted into that. And I said that to them, I said I'm shocked because I'm not a musician. I thought you were inducted into the Jazz Hall of Fame with either you were a musician, a composer, or, somebody very. And so I was told that the reason I was inducted was because if it wasn't for me, jazz would not be alive in Oklahoma. And I was very honored and flattered. So when I accepted the award, I said, that's what happens when you hang with Charlie Christian. But I will say that when I accepted at Jazz at Lincoln Center, this is what happened. I thought that all I would do is get up there, say thank you, and sit down. Well, I was wrong. I was wrong about that whole thing because in Oklahoma, see, Jazz Hall of Fames are generally fundraisers, but not at Jazz at Lincoln. It's a real honor, a real honor. When you're invited, it's a select group of people. I think their policy now is only 4 people per year get inducted into the Jazz Hall of Fame. And so I was busy inviting the mayor and everybody to come, and I was telling the people at Jazz Hall of Fame, I said, well, I invited the mayor, they said, no, Anita, don't do that. I said, well, why not? They can pay their own way. That's what I said. And they said, no, you don't understand. It's a small venue. Well, I'm still thinking fundraising, big venue. They said, no, it's in Dizzy Gillespie's Coca-Cola Club, which it is a small one. So I had to go and
disinvite the mayor. Yeah. So see if you ever get your potholes filled again, right?
That's right. So that's what happened. And so then, I was off in a way. Well, then I discovered Freddie being the cousin. So I called Jazz at Lincoln Center. They said, well, invite him. So I invited him. I had never met him and his lovely wife, Daisy. They said they wanted to go, but they said, you should accept the award. They said, no, you keep it because you have a way to display it. If we take it to our home, nobody's going to see it but us. So I went, and I was sitting at the table with this guy from Paris.
From Paris?
From Paris. Well, see, I had no concept of Jazz at Lincoln Center. And so the guy said he was there to accept for Django Reinhardt.
Uh-huh.
And I said, oh, really?